Hey guys, welcome back to Poseidon Massive Atlantis, and today we are going to move on to one of the first of two colonies. And as I said in the previous part, and I've mentioned many times throughout this part of the Let's Play, these colonies are pretty much shanty towns. We don't need them for any particular purpose. So we're going to start with this one here, which you can't read, which is Leucippium. Blessed with ore and marble, Leucippium is an artisan's fancy with one slight twist. Or we could use Evanestus. Now Evanestus opens up choice with a certain race that hasn't really been seen before. But I'm going to go with Leucippium because it's an easier one. So let's head to this location.
Once you have the city here at Leucippium up and running, Atlantis will never lack a good supply of construction materials. But there is a small quandary that we haven't yet solved. Our problem takes the form of a Sphinx who resides in the area. Following the tenets of the Symphonia Ithacos, I sent scholars to find out more about her. The Sphinx responded to our scholars' questions with a question of her own. When our learned men failed to answer her correctly, she leapt upon them and swallowed them whole. Now she's roaming the countryside, eating everyone and everything that doesn't answer her correctly. If only someone could figure out the answer to her riddle, maybe she would leave us alone.
Maybe. So Leucippium is basically a mission to slay a monster, which is the Hungry Sphinx, and just produce some bars of bronze and ingots of orichalc for the parent city. So we'll just head to the city and pause and have a little look around. I'll save later. So we've got a rather small map here, not too much space. Now the Sphinx will spawn over here somewhere and probably attack most of the things that are on this side of the map. As you can see, there's a lot of wolves and deer here, so we're not going to be using any of that here. There's a little bit of stuff up there, but the bronze you can find is somewhere. It's up here. There's bronze up here, so we can produce some bronze there, and the orichalc is over here. So of course we can't summon, we can't use the orichalc yet until we defeat the Sphinx. So we can produce grapes and olives, so that means we can produce olive oil and wine. New building, coral. For the first time we get to do cattle meat. We've also got hunting lodges, so basically our food types are meat here. Gades is a water trade route, which zigzags kind of uselessly. Atlantis buys bronze and orichalc, so that's our main food source, and we'll be able to import fish from there, which is not too bad. We can sell olive oil to Uamos, it's all like we need the money. We start with 266,000 drachma. Minusis if we need to, but we're just going to focus on Atlantis here, I think. A land trade route that buys bronze and orichalc and sells fish, so that's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put down 2 housing blocks. This is a bit of a tight map. We don't need much of this land at all. We don't have farms, so it's okay. I could just sort of dump some stuff down here. It's not too bad. So I'll go and plan out 2 housing blocks, and I'll come back in once I've done it. Alright, so here's our city. 2 common blocks are going to go right here, and we're going to actually just put down extra housing. I didn't think about putting housing here, but we'll just do that. And we'll just put that in the corner there. Just have to put things right. So I've put down the 2 corals. We're going to put... Let's just speed that out, it's too fast. Okay, so let's just put down cattle. So this just works exactly like anything else. So I'm just going to put this sort of... let's see. There's a lot of farmland here that I don't need, but we'll just spawn a bunch of cattle. So these are ranches, so they store meat just the same way as this stores meat. So got that. This doesn't sell me food, but it sells me marble, which I'm going to need because Sphinx in city. The Sphinx is sorted into our city, posing a deadly question to anyone who comes near. Who knows the trouble she may cause? We need Atlanta for that. Now where is she? Over there attacking everything. Sort of what I expected, to be honest. Now where's this food up there and there's food down here, so that's okay. Let's see, where can I put Atlantis Hall? Let's just stick it there for now. I can delete it later. So she needs a sanctuary to Artemis, a museum, and meat, wood, and some soldiers. That's not too bad. So let's just put down a warehouse here just to accept wood. And we'll just put down... Oh no, we can't get our own wood. Okay, so I need a trading post open with someone that sells me wood. And that place will be Amphere. So we'll just put down Amphere's trading post right now. And just set this to accept 32 wood, and I'll just delete it later. So I'll import marble from Gades, because that's the only place I can get it. Where the hell are these guys coming from? Probably up there somewhere. Just put the gardens down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This actually is a longer block than what I would normally build. Let me just see. Yeah, this is too long. I've actually made this longer than I intended. That's okay though. I need the population in this one, so let's get going. So, I'm going to let this run. I'm going to let the food start to stabilise a bit. Let's just see if we can increase wage rates. And we'll start to get some of the things in here for Atalanta. I'm not sure if we're going to put a working museum. I might be able to get rid of this and put it there actually. Let's see, working museum. I can sort of put it there if I destroy buildings and such, which will be possible. So yeah, I'll let this run. I'll come back in a bit later if there's anything interesting to show. Oh, a new city's been discovered, Mistonia, and Anther also gave me a gift of wood, which is sort of needed, met that goal pretty much. So where is Mistonia? Oh, Mistonia's in the north here. Oh, a city that buys sculpture. That's quite interesting. They also buy wheat. So when I go back to Atlantis, I will be selling a ridiculous amount of sculpture to Mistonia as a land trader, which is actually pretty good. Meanwhile, I've moved things around, put down the Biblioteres, and moved this Atlanta thing down here just because it's in the way. At the same time, I just realised we haven't put down the infirmary, so let's just put down... Oh, get out of the way. Oh, that's breeding grounds. Okay, never mind. We'll just put that there. And there's space to put down things as needed. So, start to stockpile meat, which is what we want. Meat needs to be stockpiled for at Atlanta. But I just need to import marble. We've got enough marble to put down the Artemis Sanctuary now. It needs more marble, wood, and sculpture. Now, I'm pretty sure I could get bronze from somewhere. Let's just accept... We're not stockpiling wood, are we? This is probably not got enough workers, yeah. Since we've got enough food in stockpile, let's just put down a food vendor there. Boost this up to the next level. That'll give us more people. We'll just run this on. I'll just show you all this because it's easier. Okay, there we go. Got rid of all that wood. Now I can import bronze from a trade partner, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Gades, no. Oh, I could get bronze from Minusus, so we'll just import bronze from there. We'll import 12 bronze. And we'll need to get fleece from somewhere as well, so we'll just import 8 fleece from there. And we'll just put down a warehouse set to accept sculpture right there. And we'll just put down 2 sculpture studios. Actually, I don't need to import bronze at all. Well, I'll just import bronze just so I don't have to set up another industry. So we'll get that going, start producing sculpture. And since we've got food needed, we'll just put that down there. We'll get this all evolved, and I'll actually just provide fleece access here as well. And we'll put down a lab just here. So I'll just keep this running, and I'll come back in once we're ready to start building Artemis Menagerie required for Atlantis Hall. Yep, employees are needed. We have evolved our housing. We did actually... What's this here? This is a hovel. And we've got a monument as well that I didn't realise that I didn't put down. I also put down the palace. This also helped to use up unemployed. I've also put down foundries to get copper. And I'm going to need a place to put down... Let's just put down a storehouse there to accept any excess bronze that we might have. And we'll also put down tax collectors like I need them. That should be fine, and I'll put down another one over here if needed. We don't have any olive oil, which is what I'm going to need now. Let's just put down a fleece vendor there. It should be within range to go and get the fleece from there. We'll also start building at Artemis's Menagerie, sorry. I'll put down olive oil here. We'll just put down... I'll just raise wage rates, I'm lazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just put down 2 of these, and we'll just put down olive trees like so. Just put a little square of them right there. Now we are running out of food. As you can see, we've got too little. Someone sells food, doesn't it? I could get fish from Atlantis. Hang on, let's just put down the trade post for Atlantis. Somewhere in this absolute mess. Let's just put it here, and we'll... Actually, no, because that's just dumb. Atlantis, where can you go? Actually, we can just put a connecting node over here and have some trade posts over in this little section. So just cut these trees down since they're in the way. We'll just put this here. And we'll start to import fish from Atlantis, because we're going to need fish. Like so. So what I'll do is I'll let this run, I'll come back in once we've managed to evolve our housing up to the next level and start to produce all the stuff needed to summon Atalanta, because we're running out of meat and wood and so on and so forth. So the sanctuary is almost done, and as you can see I've walled this in a bit to try and stop the wandering away down here because they keep going too far, and I'm also importing fish out of Atlantis now. I've got this stockpiling over here. I don't know if they'll go and get it, but we'll see. I'm going to stockpile meat to stop it being used. So we've got 32 meat, just some planks of wood coming in from Amphir now. I'll just to get. And this is also completing right about now. This needs 4 marble. Gades will provide said marble, and we don't need it anymore, so we'll just get rid of that. Artemis Menagerie complete, so that satisfies that goal. I just need a museum somewhere. And I can just stuff said museum up the back here. So this is quite a tight map, as you can see. I've got to cram a lot of it into such a small space. But we don't need any of these. We can get rid of that now. We don't need Gades. And I don't think we need that. In fact, let's just shift stuff around later. Just got to stockpile bars of bronze, essentially. For our thingy. Now, what's it just needing? A working museum, that's what it is. And we don't need to import any more wood, so we'll just let that stockpile over there. Where's the museum? There we go. So we'll get that built, that'll complete that goal, which is perfect. Do we need workers? We need employees, which is not too good. We'll just put down an oil vendor and evolve 1 block up to the next level. And I think we've got the stacks of wood, yep. So all I have to do now is let the museum start working. It needs 50 labour, Jesus, that's a lot. I didn't think it needed so much, actually, to be honest with you. And Atalanta can now be summoned, so let's send for Atalanta, empty all that wood. Kind of a waste. And all the meat's gone too. She's actually blessing on my hunters, which is actually what I want. Now we don't need this road, so we could just get rid of this and make her walk all the way along this bit as well. Mistonia buys sculpture, so I can actually just move this road a bit. No, I wanted to have the road go that way. Like so, and I could put down... And we need employees, which is not too good, but that's because we're getting employment. So, Atalanta will come very soon. Just wait for Atalanta to appear.
Now that Atalanta is here, you have nothing to fear.
Perfect. So stop stockpiling meat, we don't need to do that anymore. We'll just reduce wage rates as time goes by. We don't need Amphir's trading posts anymore. In fact, how about we just delete that. We're going to put the warehouse for olive oil over here instead. We're going to empty that out. And we're going to put down, what's these not accessing? That might be these things, so that's got access to that, which it shouldn't really have access to, so we'll put a observatory just there. And I'll just put down extra... Oh, Sphinx has been slain. I didn't even show you it getting killed, sorry. But she goes off and kills it, so that's just done that. Slayed the Sphinx. So now all I have to do is stockpile resources for a little bit. These wolves are going to be a pain though. Not too good. Where's the orichalc? It's just over here, so we'll just do a 2x2 road like so. Bridge, where is it? There we go, bridge. And now all I have to do is stockpile those resources as requested. So orichalc, we'll just put that there. And we'll just spam a few refineries like so. Like so. There we go. So let them run. That'll make us use up employment, which is not too good. So what do these not have access to? They have access to that. Scholars, yes. That. Curators. They don't have access to a curator because they don't have access to the thing. Okay, so let's just put down university just here, just for it to go around that bit. So there we go, 2,000 people. I'll just put a heroic figure monument just there. I'll just keep that all nicely looking. So yeah, I'll just let this run. I'll come back in once all resources have been stockpiled, ready for dispatch to our parent city. Okay, we're almost done with the mission. The orichalcus stockpiled very quickly over here, so I just destroyed all the excess that I had because I didn't need it anymore. I'm going to start selling sculpture very shortly once it starts to stockpile. We've got 12 in stock, which is actually a lot. And yeah, everything's fairly stable here. Starting to sell olive oil now, which is actually a good thing. How many oils do we have in stockpile? We have a few. Not enough to support maybe 1, 2. Put down another grower's lodge. Just not put down grapevines, we'll put down olive trees instead. So we've got enough food in this city to support this entirely. Just got to wait for the... that's got to exit another... Okay, there we just sold a bunch, that's good. I'm stockpiling bronze. I put down a bunch of extra things up here just to sort of boost it. I want it to get done as fast as possible, so let's just speed this up. Run it on. So we can set the orichalcus aside. Done. We'll just sell little bits of olive oil as we can. We don't want it to run out though, of course. We want to just keep a nice limited supply in stock. Sell more sculpture, this is maxed out. Once this completes, I will delete it. And I'll just reduce it down to 1. Like so. Send all the bronze back up there, please. We don't need it. So yeah, this is a fairly simple colony, just requires you to slay the Sphinx and then stockpile some resources for your parent city, so it's not too bad. We're getting the bronze coming in. I'll come back in once this is full. Almost done. I've deleted out the sculpture district because we do not need it anymore here, and I'm just going to take one final save for this mission, and you can now glorify my city. I don't know why you're given the option to build elite housing here. You don't even need it. I mean, it's like not like the map's big enough to support anything of the sort, so I don't really understand it, to be honest. But that's okay. And the hunters will start to come over here when they want to get meat, which is kind of annoying because then it fucks up everything. Let's just see. Can we just get rid of this entire industry? Yeah, there we go. We can get rid of that industry. That's that done. So now just got to wait for the bronze to stockpile, which it has, and that's ready to escape this simple colony mission. So we'll just stop sending that bars of bronze off. And there we go. Done. We've discovered a new city of Mystoria, which is our source of selling sculpture, which we'll be able to do plenty of when we come back. Not come back, sorry.
With the Symphonia Ithacos, we defended our fair city from the horrible Sphinx, who would simply not listen to reason. We owe the safety of our city to the brave Atalanta, who was clever enough to devise the answer to the Sphinx's riddle. The Sphinx was so shocked that Atalanta solved the riddle, she did not even see Atalanta's deadly arrows screaming towards her. The materials that Leucippium produces will supply lots of cities around the continent with the materials they need. Leave Leucippium in the hands of Noclarida and return to Atlantis. You have more work to do.
Of course I do. I've got to build the sanctuary to Poseidon when we go back to Atlantis. So that was Leucippium. And that was the mission, the Hungry Sphinx, and we slayed it and basically created an industrial centre. So, thanks for watching this part. I will see you in the next one where we will head back to Atlantis to build the Citadel of Poseidon. Yes, I said Citadel, not Promontory. You'll find out why in the next video. Bye now.